He had a fantastic rookie season. Essentially was basically the second best rookie QB after Jaden Daniels. But Bo Nix, man, I love this attitude, Colin. Take a listen.
Haven't done anything up until this point, and I got a lot to prove, a lot to show. So, every day it's working. Every day it's finding a way to get better, because you don't want to get to, year two or go down the road and, all of a sudden you got stuck and didn't get any better. So that's my focus right now, is just not even worried about what people are saying. Just internally, I know I got a long way to go.
I hope everybody notices what they did to their defense. Greenlaw, Hufanga on the back end. This is going to be a really good defense. You're not going to have to win shootouts. Bo Nix is going to be a playoff quarterback again next year.
Okay, not that hot of a take. I will say I like the mindset of Bo Nix. I basically come into work here. I've been on the show, I think, 2 years. I haven't accomplished anything. I got a long way to go. I'm stay humble, right? Like Kendrick Lamar said.
Okay.
Bo Nix is growing on me. By the way, do you remember when he came into the studio? He was like the nicest guy, so quiet. I think he was with his girlfriend, his mom, whatever it was. And like, he was just a laid back, you would never guess this guy's going to be, oh my gosh, top 15 pick, taking a team to the playoffs. Like, I was stunned.
My favorite part was I think he had 5 different offensive coordinators in college. So this kid had constantly sort of had to reinvent an offense. Auburn, Oregon, South, West Coast. I mean, he had your typical successful franchise quarterback college journey. Turbulence, coordinators, coaching changes, different conferences. That's the way it works. That's why if you look at a lot of these quarterbacks, they don't come from traditional powers. They have very chaotic journeys. Bo Nix had 61 college starts, 5 different coordinators, 2 different regions. I liked him more than a lot of the draft people, and I think he's just going to get better.
By the way, you like how I'm being positive about all these young quarterbacks? Anthony Richardson, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix. I'm pro quarterback. I want to give these guys a chance, right? You got to let things bake. I don't know that Bo can be like a top 5 quarterback in the league, but you don't have to be.
No, I think he is exactly what, and I had heard this before the draft. Kyle Shanahan does not want you ad-libbing. That's why he loves Brock Purdy. He made a run at Kirk Cousins. Like, there are, how they say styles make fights in boxing? Styles make quarterbacks. A lot of the coaches do not want you ad-libbing. Sean Payton is a play designer and a play caller. Bo Nix runs the plays and makes the reads he wants to with some mobility. So I think a lot of Peyton Bo Nix is their styles work together.
I do want to see him play from behind. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. A lot of game managing, bro. We got the greatest defense in the league. We don't screw it up. Final.
Okay. First off, Bo Nix is like an incredibly hyper intelligent individual. And so he's going to be able to manage games. And being a game manager is crucially important. That's not a negative for whatever reason. That has become a negative, and it will never be a negative to me. That's number one. We'll just get that out of the way off the top. Number 2, Colin said that the Broncos were not making the playoffs before. Now he's got them making the playoffs. So, I don't know now what, because he said next year, and then I'm thinking to myself, well, did he not mean this season? I still don't know how we're referring to this coming season. Is it next season? Is it this season? Is last season 2024 or 2023? So I'm a little confused by that. So, that's, if you saw me make a face, that threw me off, honestly. But there's another clip that I'm going to be doing. I haven't watched it. I just saw the thumbnail on NFL on NBC or whatever their operation is called, where they listed the Broncos as having the number 1 defense in the NFL. And I think a lot of people kind of overlooked actually just how talented this roster is and how I think they've significantly improved even more. But the Broncos technically and statistically had the best O-line and the best D-line in football last year. And, they were both able to take advantage of that, but also not able to maximize that. And I think this is the year that you're going to be able to ideally maximize that and elevate that even more and really kind of take advantage of it. But this whole cap that like, oh, that Bo Nix can't be a top 5 quarterback or something like that. And it's just like, well, wait a second. First off, let's just say that our top 4 quarterbacks are kind of set in stone. Doesn't matter the order. Let's not get too lost in it at all. Let's just look at the common Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. Okay, let's just say that's solidified, especially because of the history and the levels of consistency that they've done it. And now they have that levels of consistency. They have that head start ahead of all these other quarterbacks because they've been doing it for like 5-6 plus years or so. So that, understandably, that makes sense that not even Jaden Daniels or Bo Nix will be able to surpass that because those quarterbacks are older. But that's also the thing. These quarterbacks a lot of them are going to start hitting 30, 31, 32, 33, get banged up here, get banged up there. Like, these quarterbacks are going to be leaving their prime, especially because so many of them rely on physicality so much. What makes all those quarterbacks minus Joe Burrow special is their elusiveness, is their mobility. We've now kind of got a front row seat in what it looks like if Patrick Mahomes loses some of his mobility, loses some of his elusiveness. He gets rocked, okay? And so you will be able to blitz him and get him, and you better hope you can protect him because then you're going to be able to eat him up. Josh Allen is not going to be able to take hits forever. Lamar Jackson is going to slow down. Like that, we know that. That is a fact. So even if it takes a second for Bo Nix to be able to officially reach this, top 5, whatever type thing, even if we have to wait for some of these other quarterbacks to kind of leave, unfortunately for them, it's going to happen sooner than you think, actually. And, so maybe in those quarterbacks' prime, can Bo Nix be the 5th quarterback or even surpass a Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen? Yeah, I understand. Like, that's like a harder pill to swallow and a harder thing to understand. The good news is it doesn't matter. Like, that's the great news. I think majority of people do not believe that Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback or better than Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, or Patrick Mahomes, and yet they won a Super Bowl. No one has Stafford as a top 5 quarterback, and he won a Super Bowl. So it's just like Brock Purdy and Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, it's a team. Winning Super Bowls is a team accomplishment. So that's why it's like I wouldn't even get too lost in this whole idea. But if we remove those quarterbacks, and then it's just like we're saying that like Bo Nix can't be up there with this newish batch of quarterbacks that are out there. Like, where you're confident that, like, I don't know, like Baker, I'm trying to like find it. It's tough because the range of quarterbacks, there's a lot of overlap. Like Jalen Hurts is kind of this like perfect overlap where he's like he's not young like Bo Nix and Jaden, but he's not old like like Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. And when I say old, I don't mean like old, just older. And so it's just like, so I'm looking at like the Baker Mayfields. I mean, it's hard. There's only so many of these quarterbacks out there now. Like, if we wash out this tier and now we just go below, like, even if we want to remove Jaden Daniels and even remove Jalen Hurts, because it's like you can't really say that he's ascending. Stafford, he's getting old, he's going to be gone. Justin Herbert, let's find out. Jared Goff, I mean, you were saying that Bo Nix can't be better than Jared Goff. Like, okay. Geno Smith, I mean, the dude's also, way closer to retirement than not. Brock Purdy, he can't be better than Brock Purdy. Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott's also going to be retiring. Plus, I don't think Dak Prescott's all that special. Tua Tagovailoa, I mean, it would be a miracle if this guy plays another 5 years. And it breaks my heart to say it, but it just doesn't feel like it's possible. Even if he does, I mean, who are you going to pick, Tua or Bo Nix? I mean, Bryce Young, J.J. McCarthy, Drake May, Michael Penix, like, he's going to be right in that fold. With these newer batch of quarterbacks that are all now ascending or either leaving, like, he can easily be there. And if not, it's like, because again, I don't like this whole top 5 versus top whatever. It's like, I do look at it like tiers, and even when I put them in tiers, I don't put them in any type of order. So even if you want to put a cap on him, that he can't be tier 1, that he'll never just be truly special, truly elite. I mean, well, apparently tier 2 high-end starters, Super Bowl winner, Justin Herbert, gajillion dollar man, Jaden Daniels, best rookie year we've ever seen. So it's just like, all right, seems pretty good. Tier 3, Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl, NFC Championship game, 2 completely different teams. Brock Purdy has been to a Super Bowl. You know, so it's just like, you know, it kind of matters less to me in that regard. But after 1 year, I'm just not so sure, just being like, well, he definitely can't be this. And it's like, what are we basing that on? Like, what are we basing that on right now? And, yeah, I'm so fascinated to see. I just kind of had this like jolt of this feeling of like, if the Broncos start being great, truly great, perennially great year after year, is Bo Nix going to be in that category now of where people don't really believe how great of a quarterback he is? Where they're just like, well, it's a team, it's Sean Payton. Do you see the run game that they have? Well, anyone could be great with that O-line. Well, the defense is only averaging 17 points a game, you know, and it's just like, oh, okay. Which, again, I'm telling you, it's a great place to be in. It's a great, the Eagles fans are kicking back, laughing all the way to the bank, going to multiple Super Bowl MVP, and they're like, that's fine. You want to doubt what Jalen Hurts brings to this team? Whatever. You know, have fun, you know, and they do. They look at the Baltimore Ravens and they look at the Buffalo Bills and they're like, okay, Josh Allen fans, Lamar Jackson fans, you could be saying that your quarterback's better till you're blue in the face. My quarterback's the Super Bowl MVP. Your quarterback is not. My quarterback has been to 2 Super Bowls. Your quarterback has been to none. So it's like, it's actually kind of a fun place to be in, quite frankly. It's not fun to be a really great quarterback and be on a bad team. Or be one of those quarterbacks where they're like, he's kind of underrated. You know, like, do we respect Baker Mayfield enough? It's like, you rather have people debate how good you are because you keep winning, but they think it's the team around you. Like the Jared Goffs, the Brock Purdy's, Jalen Hurts, and they're all debated for wildly different reasons. But those are 3 quarterbacks who have had a lot of recent success. Of course, obviously, Jalen Hurts. But, you know, it's a fun place to be in, especially if you actually pull it off and win the Super Bowl. And you know, on one side, I'm kind of like, it'll be fun to add Bo Nix to that party, have him like be balling, have him get to AFC Championship games, have people be like, he's not that good. And I love making those videos when people say he's not that good, it's all his team, and I'm like, all right, well, let's take a look at it. Let's unpack this a little bit further. But it feels like to me that people really hold their pre-draft conclusions close to their heart, and they just refuse to evolve past that. And so it feels like Bo Nix will be in that category unless he starts to do things from like a mobility standpoint that really is just off the charts. And he's already kind of shown that a little bit. Like he's even against the Bengals when he did have to, I think it was to tie or to take the lead, I forget, when he made that wild pass versus the Bengals. And it was just like, I'm watching that play and I'm like, that is a superstar play. I'm not expecting you to be able to make that play all the time. And to some degree, there's always some luck involved in any of these spectacular plays. You know, it's like not even a 50-50 ball, but it's just like, that was spectacular. And it wasn't luck. It wasn't like just a prayer. Sometimes you see those plays like that and you're just like, that was just kind of a prayer. You know, like backup quarterbacks can pull that off too. And it's true, they can. But like, I look at that and I'm like, no, man, like that's a guy who intentionally just made magic. And that is a guy who I believe can do it again if need be. Like, that's the difference there. That's the difference. So, put a cap on Bo Nix at your own risk. I'll be excited to find out. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Bo Nix and Denver Broncos? Are they making the playoffs according to Colin, or are they not? I'm still a little confused. And do you believe that Bo Nix can never be the top quarterback in the NFL, I guess? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're all on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.